Start streaming. All right, here we go. Why is the... Wait, is it going? Okay, I think it's going. Okay. All right. Never get off on a good start with this thing because it's always wonky. This is episode 145 of the Battle of Ohio podcast. Good God. I don't know what Ohio did to anger whatever football gods or NFL scriptwriters or whatever's out there. All I'm saying is I'm sorry. Have we provided enough tribute? What can we sacrifice to you next that will maybe get you to leave us alone for 10 fucking seconds? Can we please stop suffering now? Well, anyway, Thomas, both of us have lost our starting quarterbacks in the span of 2 weeks, and it does not feel good. We can talk about this, that, or the other, but I mean, let's not lie. It does not feel good to lose your starting quarterback in the middle.
We don't lose two starting quarterbacks in the span of 2 weeks. We lost two starting quarterbacks in the span of 4 days.
Well, yeah, but they were technically on. Like ours happened on Thursday, but they were 2 different NFL weeks. Like you lost yours last week.
NFL weeks.
We already had an episode about it.
Daylight savings, daylight havens.
I do think that there's plenty of reason for both of us to maintain interest in this season, though. So we are going to talk about that. But
definitely me.
You know what's funny, though? You know what's funny, Thomas?
What?
The Bengals and Browns still might not have the worst quarterback situations in the division. Because why?
Don't you just love it? You suck, Pittsburgh. There's so many reasons and so many more.
Let's go. That's the outro. Shit. There we go.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Is that even like... I think it's like da-na-na, 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 or something like, I don't know, I forget. Dude, you know what I just noticed like yesterday? YouTube's been copyright striking almost all of these episodes.
Oh well, fuck you, YouTube.
I think it's because it's only been going up on my channel lately and not because we had it set up on the podcast channel.
That's technically the Battle of Ohio podcast.
Yeah, so technically YouTube doesn't know that I have the like I have like I'm allowed to use the thing. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights says, "Yo, what's up, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? Let's go."
What's up, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? I need to start watching his sports highlights because apparently Daniel Berry got the sports highlights.
Okay, so let's go ahead, and I think I want to lead off because I'm about ready to burst. I need to talk about this. Like we already talked about the Deshaun Watson situation, and we can talk more about that later. But like I need to talk about the Bengals quarterback situation. Like I cannot hold it in any longer.
This is fun. we had to wait a long week for this one.
Why?
A lot of time to think about it. You had a lot of time to think about it. And unlike you, I have a win between my quarterback being injured.
Yeah, well, that's great for you. I honestly, we'll talk more about it in the pick'ems, but I honestly think that the Bengals have a solid chance to still beat the Steelers. And it's mainly because of what we said at the top of the episode. I mean, you don't necessarily, the Browns prove you don't need to have a functioning offense to beat the Steelers.
Oh yeah, dude. All the Browns did was say, you know what? We are just gonna not turn the ball over. Okay.
And Jake Browning can do that. I can promise you that. Jake Browning can not turn the ball over.
That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna not turn the ball over. Anytime they want to turn the ball over, we're just gonna not do that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna let Kenny Pickett try to beat us.
That's pretty much, dude. Listen,
Oh my God! Isn't it funny watching Kenny Pickett suck? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Talk about the Bengals.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got a lot I need to say, but
No,
I will say, Thomas, as devastated, and I mean devastated, as I was when the news dropped about Joe Burrow. I mean, you can go back and watch. Like, I was streaming that game, and you can watch like my expression. I didn't even know he was. I thought he was going to be out for a couple of weeks, but I was still like just straight like my like I was, it was like dead eyes and everything. Like, people after the stream texted me and asked me like, "Are you okay?" Because they watched me doing. They watched me just being straight devastated watching that happen on the television, and that was before we knew he was out for the whole season. So trust me when I say, if I say anything positive, that is not to diminish the fact that it is devastating. That is not to say that I'm trying to, like, come off as being like, oh, I don't care about Joe Burrow. It's rough, man. But I mean, there is still a whole football season left to play, and I do think that there are interesting things to look at. In particular, I really like Jake Browning's confidence. I'm not saying that's going to mean anything, but I really like Jake Browning's confidence. Hearing him talk is like listening to Joe Burrow talk.
He should be confident because he's playing against Kenny Pickett's bitch ass.
Well, I just meant in general to lead the team. He's saying he sounds confident. The Bengals are doing like if it's possible to have a good rest of the week after that news with Joe Burrow drops, like if it's possible to salvage anything, I think the Bengals have done a good job of it. Like, the Bengals have basically, the way they're talking, the way they're kind of saying everything, it's like the Bengals don't think that this is the end of their season. Nobody in the organization thinks that. They are taking this from the perspective of, well, this is just another obstacle that we have to overcome. So I'm not saying the Bengals are going to save their season with Jake Browning. I mean, that's making the playoffs to this point seems like a gigantic mountain to climb. But I will say, if it's going to happen, they've taken all of the right steps so far to make that possible.
I will say this: I don't know much about Jake Browning, but if I learned anything from watching the Browns beat the Steelers last week, is that it doesn't take a lot to beat Kenny Pickett.
That's true.
And Kyle, if you win on Sunday, we would have officially killed the Steelers. Steelers would be dead. You're dead, Pittsburgh. Die, Pittsburgh. Die.
Well,
Pittsburgh.
I mean, I don't know if that's any more official than it already was. Like, I think we killed and buried the Steelers back in what was it, like 2020, when Ryan Finley beat them and then y'all pissed on their graves.
Well,
I mean, they've been maybe they die again. I don't know. They're definitely living in some sort of like hellish afterlife right now, a la Matt Canada being fired, which, by the way, just happened earlier today. Matt Canada's gone, and I'm not gonna lie, that makes me very sad, because it might put the Steelers in a bit of disarray going into this game with the Bengals, and maybe that's another advantage that the Bengals have. However, Matt Canada is a very bad offensive coordinator, and I am very sad that the Steelers might potentially put somebody more competent in there.
Kyle, one thing is about it though is that, see, I got to give it to my man Kenny Pickett, man. I really want to see him develop. I really think they should give Kenny Pickett a real chance, man. They should extend Kenny Pickett to a 3-year contract, right?
I see. Okay. Yeah.
And
me too. I feel you. Yeah.
Dude, you know what the problem is? And you know what the problem is in Pittsburgh? Is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's the problem in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, no, they should have fired his ass years ago.
They should totally fire him, man. They should fire Mike Tomlin.
You know what they should do?
Kenny Pickett.
They should trade George Pickens is what they should do. And I mean, honestly, I'd be happy to like sacrifice my team to take him on. His dad played for us back in the day.
See, if we have to do anything, We'll give you all Elijah Moore for George Pickens. Here you go, Pittsburgh. You can have Elijah Moore. Look, I know it's a big sacrifice. I know this is a big sacrifice for us. Player, you can take Elijah Moore, and we'll take George Pickens off your hands. Because I know I'm gonna have to pay that big ass $200 million contract to Kenny Pickett because he's the only quarterback in the division without a $200 million contract.
Well, he's also like still on his rookie contract, so like, why would he be?
Hey, he ain't ever getting it.
Well, right. I mean that might be true. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that he doesn't have it right now isn't saying much because he just got drafted.
It's funny though. It's funny though, dude. Like Kenny Pickett looks so bad on Sunday.
So here's something I want to point out about the Bengals' upcoming schedule. So, like the Bengals are playing Jake Browning at quarterback, and conceptually that's a nightmare scenario, right? We don't have Joe Burrow anymore. I think. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. The Bengals are no longer Super Bowl contenders. Like we're just not. Like, you know, I mean, like I'm not saying the playoffs are off the table. I'm not saying they couldn't go on a crazy ass like 2017 Eagles like run and like Jake Browning leads them to win the Super Bowl like Nick Foles. But I'm not going to be picking the Bengals to be winning the Super Bowl anymore just because like it's unrealistic now. However, I will say here's the rest of like as far as quarterbacks we have the rest of the year. Here's the rest of our schedule. We got Trevor Lawrence. I'm sorry. We got Kenny Pickett coming up. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. We get Kenny Pickett twice, bro. Like we still get to play him twice. And then Trevor Lawrence, great quarterback. Very turnover prone this year, though. Want to point that out. Then Gardner Minshew. I know Gardner Minshew is a good backup, but he's a backup is the point. Like my point is we're playing a lot of backups like Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts are tough out, though.
Josh Dobbs.
It matters how Jake Browning is, though. Josh Dobbs. The Vikings are
Josh Dobbs is good. Gardner Minshew is good. I'm just saying these guys were backup quarterbacks. So, I mean, just like, why can't Jake Browning
not playing? Yeah. I mean, half the league got backups right now with all these injuries in it.
That's what I'm saying. And the Bengals have all these weapons around Jake Browning. Like, honestly, if he can do the Joe Burrow thing and just not turn the ball over, and this defense can get its head out of its ass. We've seen this defense this year play like up to like the Cleveland Browns standards. The Bengals defense has been that good at points this year. Not consistently, and it hasn't been like that the last couple of weeks, which is the most concerning part because the way they've been playing lately, it kind of felt like they were going to need Joe Burrow to turn into like, you know, like just start going off the rest of the year for anything good to happen because the defense was kind of falling off. However, maybe this refocuses them a little bit. You never know. So after Josh Dobbs, and again, I recognize Josh Dobbs is, you know, better than the alternative would have been in Minnesota. But Josh Dobbs is a backup quarterback, and he's on his third team in a season, by the way. So, I mean, as good as he is, he keeps getting traded. Then you got Kenny Pickett, and then you got Patrick Mahomes. But you've got a Chiefs offense that has been very stale this year. I mean, very stale. This is not the same like Chiefs offense from the last few years. That's just like, you know, you worry about.
Yeah, you see defense. That stat? You see that stat on them? Was it like they haven't won they haven't scored a touchdown in the second half in the last 3 games?
I didn't see that stat. No, but that. Oh no, yeah, I saw something like that. Yeah, it's their offense has been anemic. Their offense has reminded me honestly of our offense. You know, like they've had their flashes. Our offense has had our flashes, but for the most part, it's just been where the hell did the Chiefs offense go?
You know,
and I actually know exactly where it went. The Chiefs offense went to Washington to be the offensive coordinator over there, and they brought in Matt Nagy, and there's the result.
Well, okay, let me say this. I think Jake Browning is fed up to succeed offensively more than DTR is.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Offensively, because I think you guys got more weapons offensively than we do.
Right.
So he has better receivers to throw to. We got better running backs though.
Y'all got a better offensive line.
Yeah, better run. Yeah.
Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. And here's the thing that just makes me so livid, man. You know how much effort the Bengals have put into fixing their offensive line and actually have hit on a lot of the guys who they need to hit on. Like Orlando Brown Jr. has been really good for us this year. Jonah Williams has been up and down, but moving over to right tackle seems to be maybe a little bit better than he was at left tackle. Alex Kappa and Ted Karras, they've been, up and down just like any offensive lineman in the NFL. These guys aren't Pro Bowlers at this point, but they're, like you don't really talk about them very much. But Cordell Volson we thought we had like a solid, serviceable left guard. Like it was like, oh, well, at least we have, the left side of the offensive line taken care of. Nope, he sucks too now. It's just like we can't catch a break. Every time like we fix something on the offensive line, something else breaks.
You know what the problem is, Kyle? Is that you got that Bolton guy on your offensive line, man. Everybody know a Bolton. Look, I always knew a Bolton back in high school, man. He played basketball, but he also did musicals. He was fucking this girl named Gabriella. It's crazy, man. I never liked that guy.
Volson, not Bolton.
Oh, you sure? You sure we're not talking about Troy Bolton?
I know we're not talking about Troy. I don't even know who that is, but we're not talking.
Shout out to East High.
Okay.
Y'all musical kids.
So yeah. Like I said, we got Kenny Pickett. We got a turnover-prone Trevor Lawrence, Gardner Minshew, Josh Dobbs, Kenny Pickett again. A very dampened Patrick Mahomes, which I mean, obviously, I'm not projecting we're going to beat the Chiefs, but you never know too. And then DTR at the end of the year. Now the problem is we're also going up against Myles Garrett, and that's the issue. But
hey, man, DTR was nice, man.
No, he's not.
DTR was solid.
What game were you watching? He was terrible.
He wasn't. He did everything that was asked of him.
He did nothing but throw barely over 100 yards and interception.
Well, that's all we needed him to do.
Well, that is accurate.
He threw 165 yards.
But listen, if you're playing if you're playing anybody other than the Steelers, that's not sustainable.
Maybe
it's not going to work against the Ravens.
That's true, gonna be it. But we probably beat the Broncos like that, and the Bears, and
I don't know. Maybe, but the Broncos defense is pretty good.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean,
yeah, you'll beat the Bears for sure.
Okay, look. Let me say this real quick. Like I said, I think offensively, Jake Browning is more prepared to beat the Steelers than DTR. Excuse me. We'll get into DTR in a minute, but I do think Jake Browning is more prepared. The injury is weird to me. We talked about this off air. Kyle. You always shoot me. You've been shooting me down on this. I seen reports on Twitter and reports from people. Like this wasn't like how I'm not making it up from people I never people from the street. Like these are radio hosts and analysts who says that they seen that photo of what they're referring to is the photo of Joe Burrow having something on his hand to protect his hand before the game. Now we don't really know what it is. That video is very short, and the resolution of that video is less than 1080p, and that's horrible quality because nowadays we're in 4K. Like this terrible ass camera photo of me right now, that's technically 4K, bitches. But technically,
for you, it's more of a lighting issue than it is like a camera quality issue, I think.
Yeah, man, bright ass light, man. What the fuck is this, man? That's fucking bright ass light, man.
You just made it brighter.
No, I made it darker. It's just the camera became a lot brighter. That is better.
It looks brighter.
Yeah, because the camera brightens itself. It's a smartphone, homie. So that's why it's all grainy now. Because now that the natural light is gone, the camera is trying to light up, and now my camera quality is bad. Now my camera quality is worse than 1080p. Now this is the camera quality of the camera that we've seen of Joe Burrow with the hand thing. Okay, people seen it. I'm not making it up. You can Google it. Anyway, that's not here or there. We don't know for a fact that Joe Burrow was injured before the game. Kyle says that he wasn't. Fine, whatever. Joe Burrow goes down with an injury. It's horrible. Everybody's sad. Shout out to Joe Beasley. You the boy, though. Shit, man. His hand will be okay, though, right? That's just
Yeah, so long term, like obviously he's out for the season, but like long term, from what I've read from like literally every single person who knows anything about medical anything, and also for pretty much all the reports, it's expected that he's going to make 100% recovery. Well, I mean, he's most likely going to be like completely recovered sometime in like March or something like that. So like
it's our quarterback.
He won't have any issues with like he won't miss any training camp or anything. Like he'll be fine.
Yeah, it's the same thing with our quarterback. Like if our quarterback had his injury like a month ago, we'd be like, oh, we'll see him in the playoffs. Nah, man, come on.
Yeah, no, that is definitely the thing. Like had this happened earlier in the season, we might still get him in the playoffs. Now, at the same time, like, do you make the playoffs when you lose Joe Burrow that early in the season? That's the question. Like right now, I think it's still within the realm of possibility. I'm not putting my money. I would not suggest anybody put their money and bet on the Bengals right now to make the playoffs. But I think it is still very much within the realm of possibility that this defense gets its act together and Jake Browning is serviceable enough that they can, take their 5-5 record and, end up with the 7th seed in the AFC. Like, I think that is fully realistically possible. And I don't know if that would have been possible if, Joe Burrow gets hurt earlier in the season because I think you're going to have a lot of momentum if Jake Browning, if they go out and beat the Steelers and then maybe they go out and beat the Jaguars, you're going to have a ton of momentum to ride that wave off of. And, you might be able to make something interesting happen, if you can, overcome, like I said, especially because of all these like bad quarterback situations we have on our schedule. So I really think that you can put that together and do something now. I don't know if that momentum carries you through like 13 games, but it might carry you through like 7.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see about you.
Especially with the start we had, by the way. Like if Joe Burrow goes down in like week 4, then we're staring. We're like 1-3.
Well, we're gonna see about Browning. I mean, from what I've seen from that Chiefs game, his first couple of drives looked rattled, but at the end of the game, he really started to figure it out.
You mean the Ravens?
So I really like to see that because he really did start to figure it out.
You mean the Ravens game, right?
Yeah.
You said the Chiefs
game. No, I'm sorry, that Chiefs Ravens. I'm sorry, I was watching the Chiefs game last night.
Okay.
That was a good ass game.
That was a good game. And now Chiefs fans are just like losing their minds over. They're like, the refs gave the Eagles that game. Like, shut up.
You know what's crazy is that now, like the Browns have if the Ravens. I mean, if the Browns win next week, they're tied for having the best record in the NFL. Like AFC.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I mean, dude, the AFC is a bloodbath this year. Like honestly, like nobody is particularly good and nobody's particularly bad in the AFC. Like,
damn it, man! If we had fucking Watson right now, we'd be Super Bowl favorites.
I don't know if that's accurate. Like, because Watson wasn't exactly having a great season.
His last 3 games.
I know he was, but that doesn't make you Super Bowl favorites. Like nobody's gonna buy into that.
Yeah, but it wasn't the fact that Watson was heating up. It was the fact that everything was coming together.
Well, yes, but again, that's not going to make you Super Bowl favorites. That might make you think you're Super Bowl favorites, but that doesn't.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. We had a really good chance. We had a really good chance to win the Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson, our quarterback.
I think you definitely had a better chance than you have with DTR, and I think a lot of people are trying to make the argument that that's not the case, and I think those people are silly.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, his last 3 games, we can't talk. I mean, a lot of people, my phone always does that shit. A lot of people like to make the case that a lot of people, when they try to hate on Deshaun Watson, they always talk about that Colts game, which did happen. I'm not stop doing that, phone. Technical issues. I got like a weird setup. I have my
I don't think this is technical issues. I think this is
I have my
physical.
DVD Boondocks. I have my Pokemon Scarlet and But anyway, let's not worried about that. Fuck you. Okay, we got this.
This is excellent tier television here.
All right, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
At this point.
Look, man. Here's my thing. Here's my thing about Deshaun, because we talked enough about your team, your crappy ass quarterback.
Better than yours.
We can sit here and argue. Look, Kyle. Let me say this before this. I've been waiting for this podcast because I've been preparing something. Since we both got backup quarterbacks now, I decided to admire the greatest backup quarterbacks in history. Think of all the vice presidents we had. America is world champions. We have been world champions since 1918. And think about how many backup quarterbacks we had. We had Lyndon B. Johnson, who was the backup quarterback with a step in for JFK after he was tragically assassinated. We had Truman, who had to step in after FDR was tragically had too many blowjobs and he died at his train stop. Shit. What's another vice president we had?
Anymore? What does this have to do with football?
No, these are. Well, our vice president is not the backup quarterback of America.
Okay, but are you going to make a comment about backup quarterbacks?
Well, I mean, those two backup quarterbacks became president after they became backup quarterbacks. So you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
who
sure,
said
I'm
this?
I'm not entirely sure Lyndon B. Johnson's going to beat the Chiefs, though.
Yeah, man, LBJ, man, he's a basketball player, duh. Yo, okay, so like, I have more, but I can't remember. Abraham Lincoln's vice president. Do you remember Abraham Lincoln's vice president?
Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, fuck that guy.
And then obviously there was another one, but Andrew Johnson's the one who took over.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah,
he was probably the worst president in the entire history of the country, and that's including. Yeah. Well, I don't want to get modern. I don't want to get modern political here, so we'll
we had nothing after 1980. Nothing after 1980.
I think I'm going to avoid 1982 because I have some strong opinions about that guy too.
Yeah, you and me both. Look, okay, that's not here and there. That's not here or there. My whole point is that we got to believe in our backups, especially when we have 7 wins. You still got the Jets and the Bears on the schedule, and the Bengals. So like, you just got to believe in your backup, man. Maybe Jake Browning's him. What school did Jake Browning play for last year?
He played for the Bengals last year.
No, he's not a rookie?
No, he's like in his 3rd year or something like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he used to play for Washington.
Oh.
But like, I mean, he was an undrafted guy who we picked up years ago, and he's been mostly on the practice squad for a long time. Like, we had what was it then? We had Brandon Allen. It was mostly Brandon Allen.
Well, why not give I mean, honest question. I'm just curious. Why not give AJ opportunity?
Well, now because you already committed yourself to Jake Browning, so okay. There's no giving AJ. If you're giving AJ an opportunity, look, I've been talking to people on Facebook, on Bengals Facebook about this. You're only going to see AJ McCarron at this point because they committed themselves to Jake Browning. If they had committed themselves to AJ McCarron, then maybe we would have seen AJ McCarron, but they didn't. And I think the locker room wanted Jake Browning because I think the locker room believes in him. I think he's got a lot of quality. I think the reason he's in Cincinnati and he's been here for as long as he's been here, even though he's been on the practice squad this whole time, is because I think he has a lot of similar like mental qualities to Joe Burrow. And I think that's
the thing is though, people don't realize the locker room be telling you what's be going on. People just don't be listening to the locker room, man. The locker room be telling you what's be going on. The locker room, and that's why I think the Browns went with DTR over PJ, because the locker room I don't think the offensive guys like PJ Walker because I don't think PJ Walker understands the playbook. That's one thing that you kind of got to watch when it comes to football is like their understanding of the offense and the players around them. And you can see that there was communication issues with PJ Walker. And like, okay, I'm not saying the team doesn't respect PJ Walker because, you know, I had a chance to meet some of these players. So I don't want to put anything in anybody's mouth. But I will say this, when you watch like Kareem Hunt and when you watch these players like the offensive linemen, the way they kind of look at PJ Walker, it's like, yeah, we admire that you're a gamer, but you have a lot of limitations. And so when you look at a guy like DTR, who was the backup plan going to training camp, he practiced with the backup with the first team a lot in training camp, and he knows these guys. I think we're starting to see a similar thing with Jake Browning, where, like you said, a lot of these people that they know the players on the Bengals, they know who Jake Browning is, they know where he's coming from, they're familiar with him, so like that means something.
I agree. I think that's a big thing. And like I said, if you're only going to see AJ McCarron pretty much at this point, if Jake Browning gets hurt, then you'll probably see AJ McCarron because there's like, I mean, they signed Drew Plitt, who's another guy who's been kind of on and off the Bengals practice.
Drew Plitt?
Yeah, Plitt. they signed Drew Plitt as kind of like another option, but I do think you'll probably see AJ McCarron if Jake Browning gets hurt, but it's only going to, even if Jake Browning's bad, I don't think that I think they're pretty much just going to like ride with Jake Browning the rest of the year. Because here's the thing, if Jake Browning's bad, then the playoffs are not happening. Like if we lose to the Steelers, I think you can pretty much go ahead and say like that playoff dream is probably not going to happen at this point. But so it's pretty much over at that point, and you're really just kind of like evaluating what you have. And so like, why would you play AJ McCarron, who's like 33 or whatever, and he's not really part of the future plan or whatever. So like, why would you play him if your season's like, the only reason you play AJ McCarron is if you need a veteran to come in and maintain the momentum that you already have. But I think I think they've got enough momentum with Jake Browning already, and he hasn't even really played all that many snaps, but I think they've got enough belief and they're rallying around him enough to the point where it's like, this is Jake Browning's team right now. AJ McCarron is like a fan favorite because Bengals fans remember him from like 8 years ago when he, played offense. And by the way, as a reminder, AJ McCarron didn't play all that well, guys. We put 15 points against the Steelers in that playoff game. AJ McCarron did not play well, but
hey man, we would have had AJ McCarron was the fact that our printer wasn't working.
I mean, I'm not saying AJ McCarron's a bad quarterback. He did some interesting stuff, and he did lead that final drive against the Steelers. To be fair,
the funny ass shit too. All right. Let me say this. Well, fuck. I don't know. We're gonna see. I have no idea what to take from Jake Browning. All I know is that last drive that he had was pretty damn good.
I don't think.
Yeah, he had reading up last drive.
I know it ended in a touchdown, but it was a garbage time touchdown. They probably didn't care.
Well, I mean, either way, did he not score?
No, he did score, but again, like when the defense isn't really trying to stop you from scoring, then it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, I think they were trying.
It was solid. It was solid, though.
The scheme was to make them run the clock, and that's what they did.
I'm trying to give you something. I'm sitting here trying to give you. I mean, I know this rose might not smell good. This is a very stinky rose. I know this rose doesn't smell like Joe Beasy or Deshaun Weezy. It smells like Jake Buini. What?
I don't want it to smell like Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson been balling, man. Heck you mean, man.
Hey,
man, look.
Like
our quarterback. Look, wait, hold up. Our quarterback beat the Ravens with a broken arm. I'm just saying.
That's cool.
And you know what, Kyle? Since it's a rivalry podcast, I do got to be hard on y'all for a second.
Okay.
I said this at the beginning of the year. And I know you're going to refute me on this, whatever. I don't care at this point. I said at the beginning of the year, I said that I felt like the Bengals' sense of urgency is not there. And I was like, they need to have a more sense of urgency, or this is gonna bite them on the butt. Because like granted, I need to qualify my comment. I said that after Jamar Chase made his comment about Joe Burrow's injury, where it was like he was like, "Oh no, Joe Burrow, take your time, man. We got plenty of season to catch up. Like you want to take 5 weeks to get healthy."
You said that too.
Well, yeah, I did say that. I did say that. But I said that the comment seemed what did I say? Oh, I said the comment seemed, when I first heard the comment, I said that it felt like to me that the Bengals weren't taking the beginning of the season seriously enough because they were just they were arrogant. I don't think that you guys took the regular season seriously at the beginning of the season. Like,
see, here's the thing. Jamar Chase's opinion was a minority opinion. Everybody else wanted Joe Burrow to play because they wanted, they were like, we got to get off to a good start. Just because they did.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, I can't get that out of my head though, because y'all started off 5-4 though, before Burrow got hurt, and because y'all had a slow start, now y'all in this hole. We got fast starts over here. We got fast starts up here in Cleveland. Raise your hand. Your team got off to a fast start.
That's great for you, Thomas. If you finish slow, it doesn't matter.
In the rivalry podcast, I'm sorry. We went. I had to throw something at you. I'm sorry. I had to throw something.
You throw whatever you throw, but you better be able to back it up.
No, I'm backing it up. Y'all started off 5-4, man. I'm just saying, man.
Okay,
y'all.
It doesn't matter if you start fast if you finish slow.
Y'all lost too many unacceptable games at the beginning of the season. If you guys, who y'all lose to? Y'all lost to. Y'all should have lost to the Texans.
We don't need to talk about who we lost to, except for the fact, like, if you want to talk about unacceptable losses, Thomas, let's just the Titans game is the only one we need to discuss.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Completely unacceptable.
You're right. The Titans game was completely unacceptable. Like, how did y'all lose to the Titans, man?
Well, it's not just lose to the Titans. It's get destroyed by the Titans, and not by the Titans, but get destroyed by the Titans while you're actually handling Derrick Henry quite well. We got destroyed by Tyjae Spears and Ryan Tannehill's, and Will Levis hasn't even showed up and done his thing yet.
Who the fuck is Tyjae Spears? You know what's funny? You know what was funny about about you guys losing to the Titans? So when the Titans played in Cleveland, I was at the game, and there was this kid. He was a Titans fan, and he was cool. He was cool because we were actually in a dog pound, and he was actually being chill about everybody while he was in the dog pound. Respect to that kid. But at the end of the game, after they got their ass kicked, and he was being a good sport about it. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm driving to Cincinnati next weekend, and they're going to beat the Bengals next weekend." We all collectively, as a whole entire section, just started laughing. People up front didn't even know why we were laughing. They started laughing with us. Like, you want to beat the Bengals, bitch. Not with that defense. And they beat the Bengals.
Yeah, but that's because it's a curse, Thomas, you see.
What's the curse?
The curse is we can't beat the Browns. That's what the curse is.
I don't know what's up with that. I mean, I'm talking about the Titans, though. I'm talking about the Titans, though.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No, I'm saying like this guy who was in my section was a Titans fan. He was an avid Titans fan, and then he said,
"Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
fuck it, I'm driving to Cincinnati next weekend to see the Bengals Cincinnati game." Yeah, and then he drove to Cincinnati, and then y'all got ass whipped by them. But look, that's not here and there. We ain't gonna talk about the past. We ain't gonna talk about the past. We're gonna talk about the now.
Are you sure?
Right now,
you've been talking about the past a lot.
Dude, I've been talking about the past for like the past 3 years. Yo, okay, but here's the thing though. Here go the good news. Like I said, I think Jake Browning is better set up on offense than DTR was. And as long as Jake Browning can take care of the football, then y'all should be able to take care of the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are in fucking Ray. Like, if there's any time to beat the Steelers with a backup quarterback, it is right now.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. And you know who else agrees with you, by the way? Vegas. The Bengals are actually betting favorites to win this game.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
Isn't it, though?
Dude, isn't it funny watching the Steelers crumble right now?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Like
It's so beautiful.
the only thing that I regret about it is I'm just mad that I just hope this goes on for a very long time. I hope this is just the beginning of Steelers just start sucking for years and years.
Well,
Like
to be honest with you,
20 years and 30 quarterbacks would be great.
honestly, the fact that Mike Tomlin keeps like getting these random wins is honestly hurting them because like what happens is like, yes, they go like 8-9 or they go like 9-8 every year, and that's well and good, but they're not making the playoffs for the most part, or when they do make the playoffs, they get destroyed, and their draft positioning is still really bad, and nobody wants to come to a mediocre football team, so it's not like they have a lot of leverage in free agency either. So the Steelers just kind of get stuck in this constant cycle of mediocrity, and it's really difficult to get out of that.
What is just crazy to me is how delusional Steelers fans are.
Some of them.
Man, are they? Yeah, no, a lot of them.
Some of them are delusional, and some of them are like losing their minds. And I'm just sitting here like, man, y'all are a spoiled ass fan base.
Yeah, fuck them. Okay, so all right. So going back to the Browns.
2 seconds.
Okay, wait here. Let me turn the light back up because it's too dark in here. Because girls are players too. Dun 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 dun. All right. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. It's my favorite holiday. Anyway, I gotta go on DTR rant. So here's how I feel. I think that last week DTR had a very vanilla playbook. Okay, he had it was take it easy, take it down the field, be very easy with that ball, and let our defense win the game. And that's what the Browns did. They played it safe. So I can't really hate DTR's performance because he just did what he was asked to do. He did the bare minimum. Now, granted, Kyle, he did not attempt. He only attempted 2 or 3 passes over 10 yards.
Sure, and he still only completed 55% of them.
Yeah, well, that's because the Steelers like you ain't gonna. They kind of
1 interception and 0 touchdowns.
True, he did. Well, I mean, 1 touchdown was dropped by 6 drops actually, 8 drops, 8 drops, six by David Njoku.
I will say though, like people use drops as an excuse for the quarterback, like
yes and no,
all the
because
time.
Drops
and sometimes yes, but sometimes it's just like part of that's on the quarterback for not developing that chemistry.
I was just about to say that. I think that, well, that's my whole thing. It's like it matters what the drops were, because like you said, sometimes it's quarterback not like Baker Mayfield would have these receivers drop the ball like unexplicably. Like, how did the receiver drop a ball like that from Baker Mayfield's perfect throw? Because it wasn't a perfect throw. Baker Mayfield threw it 185 miles per hour when he just needed to put some touch on it. Like sometimes like that be like a lot of times the quarterbacks, when you see a lot of drops, it's because quarterbacks are doing something like that where they're putting too much on the ball. Like, like, dude, chill, man. What the fuck, man?
So I'm looking.
Big toe, SpongeBob. Big toe.
I'm looking at an ESPN video right now, and the headline is Najee Harris opens up about frustration with Steelers offense. And I'm not listening to it, so I don't know what he's saying. But I'm just gonna say, Najee Harris, bro, you got 2.9 yards per carry against the Browns. Like,
you suck, Najee.
If you're going to open up about your frustrations with the Steelers offense, then do something about it. You're not helping Najee.
Yeah, I mean Jaylen Warren's way better, man. That Warren guy is way better.
Yeah, Jaylen Warren had a game.
Oh, he's pretty good.
The fact that Jaylen Warren did that and like they still lost is that right there tells me that Najee Harris is like I'm frustrated with the Steelers offense. So it's like you're part of the problem, Najee Harris.
Well, no, you don't understand. After that run, they stopped going to Warren for some reason. I don't know why. They're like, no, Warren, we're not going to you for the rest of the game.
Once again, Najee seems to be the problem, or at least a big part of the problem. And I'm not saying he's a bad running back. Although I will say, if Jalen
He's a bad
Warren
running back.
if Jalen Warren can average 14 points, and I know a lot of that was he had like a 74-yard run. Fair enough. But at the same time, if he can still average 14.3 yards per carry, then and Najee's only averaging 2.9, not 2.9, not 3.9, 2.9. Then maybe you're part of the problem, Najee. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he is.
I know the Steelers' offensive line is terrible. Like, I'm not trying to say it's all Najee or anything like that. I'm just saying maybe look in the mirror.
Well, it wasn't terrible for Warren.
Well, exactly.
All I'm saying is DTR did what he was asked to do. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
that's all I can ask
my argument against that is, if that was what DTR was asked to do, then y'all need to fire your offensive coordinator, because like at the end of the day, DTR, like, you say, oh, he wasn't asked to do very much. He was asked to throw the ball 43 times, Thomas.
Well, again, we talked about this 8 drops. Dude, I mean, this is second NFL start.
Drop. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you said the plan was for DTR not to do too much, and he threw the ball 43 times. That's a lot of times to throw the ball. So I did.
Yeah, but they're all, but like these weren't long passes. These were $5 passes, man. He was throwing a lot of $5 passes, man. He wasn't putting 50 on it or 200 on it. He was putting 5 on it. I got 5 on it. Yo, he was putting 5 on those passes, man. He was doing a lot of $5 passes. So, you know what I mean? Like, what's a $5 pass, man? Just a little, hey, man, just throw whatever. They don't catch it, just to turn the ball over. Listen, that's all we asked him to do, is not to turn the ball over. Did he do that? Yeah, he did it once, but still.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He turned the ball over, didn't complete a lot of his passes, and threw the ball a lot. So I disagree with this idea that he wasn't asked to do very much. I think he was asked to do a lot and didn't live up to it.
He's fine.
Now, to be fair, maybe they were just trying to get him reps, and that they knew they could afford some screw-ups because they were playing the Steelers. But still.
Dude, he'd be fine. This is his first game. He's only look better. He didn't look bad, dude. But not to mention that he did have a game-winning drive at the end of the game.
Joe says he's got the guy who sings the "I Got 5 on It" song on the show.
Love you, Joe. Yo, I mean, like, here's the thing about DTR though. DTR went 4-4 at the end of that game. He to have a game-winning drive. You know, that was pretty solid. So, you know, I mean, like, I can't. DTR did, like I said, he did what he needed to do. Let's go beat the Broncos' ass. As far as Joe Flacco goes, I'm intrigued, but I kind of want to see more DTR, if I'm being honest. I really want to see what DTR can do. So
I'm so glad you reminded me of that, Thomas. Joe Flacco, the Cleveland Brown. Okay, so listen. I am not saying this to say anything about DTR. You already know how I feel about DTR, but I'm saying I'm not saying this to say this about DTR. I desperately want Joe Flacco to start for the Cleveland Browns and go beat the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs.
That would be funny, yo.
I promise you, Thomas, I will. If Joe Flacco is your starter, then, I mean, I'm still rooting for the Bengals, but whether the Bengals make the playoffs or not, that still remains to be seen. But if Joe Flacco is your quarterback, I will make you a promise right now that I will root for you guys the rest of the season.
Oh, well, hell yeah. So, I mean, he probably will be our quarterback. He probably will be our quarterback in 2 or 3 weeks, honestly.
I hope that
depending on how DTR plays. If DTR plays well enough to keep off Joe Flacco, then he's going to be solid. But, I mean, I just don't think that. I don't know. I got to see more out of him. I got to see more of DTR.
Now, granted, the Steelers are a really tough defense, to be fair. So
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to play a harder defense. A little
bit of leeway there, but at the same time, you're
right.
For all of the okay, so I need you to let me finish before you interrupt me here. But
sorry.
for all of the, I'm not saying you're going to. I'm saying I'm going to say something you're not going to like, but you need to let me finish.
Okay,
So
I said a couple things.
For all of the hype that DTR got, and he did, not from the national media, not from you, not from whatever, but from a lot of like the reactionary Browns fans. DTR got a lot of hype going into this game, and for that he was terrible. And to be fair, like a lot of people going into that draft thought DTR was going to be like, a second round quarterback. There's a lot of people talking about him like, and by the way, when I say going into that draft, I don't mean like the lead up to the draft. Like, he didn't have the best senior season, but before that, he was being talked about as one of the better quarterbacks in this class. Yeah. And then that didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't. Oh, well, we're going to see. He's a smart kid. We're going to see. Rookie quarterbacks get better after every game.
Yep.
So,
let's see. We'll definitely see. I do think he can possibly improve. My concern is that you're asking a lot of that defense if DTR is your starter. Now, granted, your defense is absolutely capable of it. But
nah, you're right, dude. We got. You know what it is? Yeah, like you said, those. He did pass the ball 40 times and only had 160 yards. He's going to have to improve on that. But I think he's gonna. I think that he's gonna have a little more leeway with the Broncos than he will with the Steelers. So we're gonna see how they play him.
I think you might be a little surprised that Broncos defense has been opportunistic lately.
Yeah, but I still think the Steelers defense might be a little better. I mean, they did just play. I mean, what they
probably are. They probably are. I'm not gonna lie. They
didn't have leakage. I mean, my whole thing is that he played his hardest defense. He played the hardest defense he's gonna play throughout the rest of the season. So I mean, he's not gonna see a defense harder than that.
Incorrect. So, he's going to play the Cincinnati Bengals defense at the end of the season when they absolutely are desperate to be good, and they're going to rise to the occasion, and Lou Anarumo is going to be put immediately in the Hall of Fame. Fuck you.
Y'all beat us so many times the last 4 years.
Yeah, well, you know what? Joe Burrow's not playing this time, so we're going to win.
Last time Joe Burrow didn't play against us, we still beat y'all with Case Keenum.
Shut up.
Shout out to Case Keenum.
Bengals for life.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say this. You know what? I think that I'm feeling pretty good about us making the playoffs. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about us making the playoffs. Especially that last game.
I feel pretty good about you guys making the playoffs. Like, I mean, I think at this point it would be silly to say that the Browns are a concern to make the playoffs. Like, y'all are making the playoffs.
I mean, look, I ain't saying like I'm guaranteeing it or anything because I've seen some things. I've seen them blow a lead to the Jets against Joe Flacco. So like, I'm a hurt Browns fan. But you know what I mean? No, man. I mean, like, look, let's just say, man. I mean, like, look, it's looking good for us right now. But we're gonna see when the schedule turns. Because, like you said, there are some tough opponents on that schedule still.
Yeah.
I mean, the hardest team that we played left is the Jaguars. I mean, I would say y'all, but y'all don't got Dude. Y'all don't have Dude.
Well, depends on if the defense can get back to where they were. But there's also not necessarily any reason to believe they will. But you know what, man? I got to tell myself something so that I can get through the rest of the season.
If y'all weren't 5-5, man, that's where my problem is y'all record, your current record.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Being 5-5, there's a decent chance. I mean, like, I honestly think we can. Now, you're pushing it. But I think you can get in the playoffs if you're 10-7.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see because I mean, like you said, the AFC's been beating up on each other a lot. So I mean, y'all got some winnable games here and there. I mean, y'all might beat the Vikings. I mean, it just all depends on how Jake Brown. I think y'all get the Steelers this weekend, honestly.
That's yeah. I mean, well, yeah, well. So anyway, let's get to predictions.
Yeah, look at the predictions.
All right. So we're gonna start with the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. This one's in Detroit.
All right, Turkey Day game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Lions on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving started in Detroit. And it's gonna end in Detroit.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Lions are good and the Packers are bad. So
Yeah.
I mean, the Packers aren't as like the worst team in the NFL by any means, but like I think the Lions like are definitely much better than them. And the Lions have kind of had their number lately. So like, even outside of like, like even with Aaron Rodgers there, the Lions kind of had their number.
Yeah.
Joe says had a lot of drops and didn't run as much as you should have. Well, fair enough, but that was kind of my point. Like, DTR threw the ball a lot. That was kind of my whole thing.
I kind of want to see him. I kind of want to see what he could do when he. I kind of want to see him run more. I mean, fuck it, you know what I mean?
Joe's done the prediction machine thing. 11 wins for the Browns is 100% playoffs in every scenario. No, yeah. I think 11 wins definitely, like I said, I think 10 wins gets you in the playoffs right now. Now, 10 wins, you're pushing it. I think whoever makes the playoffs with the 7 seed will have a 10-win record. Now, you'll probably have to like win a tiebreaker or two to get there. But
we got good tiebreakers right now. We beat a lot of AFC teams.
That's true. That's our biggest problem right now.
So like the Bears is a W, the Rams is a W. That's 3. That's 2 on me. There's another team that we play that's really bad. Oh, the Jets. We won't beat the Jets. So that's 3 right there. That's 10 games, and then we'll probably beat y'all week 18. So
I can just all I'm gonna do at this point, I'm just gonna hang my hat on the fact that people were calling us Super Bowl contenders until Joe Burrow got hurt. So you know what?
Why are they calling us Super Bowl contenders until Joe Burrow got hurt? The whole point. That's why I'm sitting here like, why are you 5-5? Like,
because we got off to a bad start, but that's the point.
But yeah, you go like, go. Y'all have Joe freaking Beasley, man.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow got off to a bad start. That's my point.
That's very true.
Like it wasn't the Bengals actually as a team played quite well early in the year. It was the passing game which was the biggest problem. But like the running game was doing well, the defense was doing well. The issue was that Joe Burrow couldn't get anything done. So you're over here talking about a lack of urgency. Like the Bengals actually did pretty well early in the season. They were losing because the passing game was just horrendous.
That doesn't help.
All right, Commanders, Cowboys. What you got?
Give me them Cowboys. I usually don't like saying that, but give me them Cowboys.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Commanders win this game. I'm gonna take the Cowboys just because that's probably right, but I wouldn't really be shocked if the Commanders won this one. Just because like I'm not totally sold on the Cowboys, and I mean the Commanders are a little sneaky.
Yeah, they are.
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. All right, so next up you got the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. This is in Seattle.
If I have that. Yeah, give me the Seahawks at home. Yeah, give me the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks at home. Yeah.
Yeah, I disagree. The Seahawks have not looked as good lately. The 49ers are starting to kind of get back to form. So for right now, the 49ers, I feel, have all the momentum. I'm going to take the 49ers. By the way, Joe said something. And I've always kind of wondered. I don't know if I ever really asked you, but he said, did you guys know that Thomas's great uncle Willie played for the Pirates in the 70s? And I was actually going to are you actually related to Willie Stargell?
Yeah, he's my fourth cousin.
Okay, that was okay. So yes, I knew about Willie Stargell. I didn't know that he was actually
we're legit related. So like his basically my grandfather and his grandfather. My grandfather and his grandfather are the same grandfather. No, my grandfather and him share the same grandfather.
Oh yeah.
If that makes sense. My grandfather's like cousins with him, like legit, like cousins. So it's down the line, but all stars are related. It's weird. So yes, but no.
Fair enough. All right, so Dolphins Jets. It's in New York.
Give me the Jets. Actually,
Why?
no. I mean, it's weird because like Robert Saleh, he's not. No, give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, I agree. Dolphins. Like a couple of weeks ago, I might have said the Jets, but like the Dolphins are looking a little better lately. So I like, and the Jets are just. I have trouble picking the Jets any week with that quarterback situation. Like, nah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Falcons Saints.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going with the Saints. What's his face hasn't been looking too bad. Derek Carr. So I'm going with the Saints. Shout out to you, Mikey. That pick's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm also going to take the Saints, just because, like, once again, I just think they're on a better trajectory than the Falcons. The Saints are a decent football team, and like Mikey, Mikey does streaming too. And him and his streaming partner have been putting out these like wild accusations that the Saints are a bad football team, and they're not a bad football team. They're not great. This isn't Drew Brees' Saints by any means, and if that's what you were expecting, then I'm sorry, but like this is still much better than what you normally get out of the Saints in the grand scheme of history. By the way, Derek Carr is it's Jameis Winston right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Crab Legs.
Because like Derek Carr has been hurt for a bit.
I didn't know. Shout out to Crab Legs.
Yep. I'm still taking the Saints though, like regardless.
Yeah, I'm still taking Crab Legs too.
Okay. All right, Panthers Titans.
Titans. Because like the Panthers are just so incredibly bad, and I just think it's gonna be funny that even the Panthers got a better backup quarterback than the Titans does, or got to have a better draft pick than the Titans. I'm sorry. Even the Titans have a better draft pick at quarterback than the Carolina Panthers does.
Okay, so Joe has a very important question. That I have a curiosity. Joe asked, who can get closer to dunking, Thomas or Kyle? And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I'm just curious. How tall are you, Thomas?
6 foot.
Okay, so I'm like 6'2", so I mean like I have that on my side, but I'm like a billion% sure Thomas can jump better than I can, just because you were in Ultimate Frisbee and everything.
Yeah, you see me.
Like the last time I actually played a sport, like an organized sport anyway, was like high school. So, oh, beer. My wife brought beer, everybody.
That's the greatest. Yo, okay, you know what? Look, that was great. Yeah, probably me.
Yeah, I mean, like I can like run, but that's I'm not like super athletic, but I can like run, but that's that's just because I can maintain momentum. That's about it.
Hmm.
I might be faster than you. That might genuinely be a fact. Like I'm pretty
Hey,
fast.
you remember when I did the ultimate? Remember Ultimate 15 Combine?
Yeah, I remember you doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were driving through that snowstorm. That was fun. That was a fun day. That was when we became best friends. And I will walk.
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot about that snowstorm. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We almost died.
That was an interesting day. Yeah.
I was just like, Kyle, I need to go to the bank in Columbus.
That
Like,
was
all right,
wild.
you want to come along? He's like, fine, I'll come along. I don't give a fuck.
I
Just came
didn't have
along.
anything else to do.
Just came along. I miss college. Yeah. Yeah. With that said, give me the Titans over the Panthers because it's just flying Panthers. God damn it!
I agree. Titans over Panthers. I mean, the Titans are still pretty sus. Like Will Levis is good, but like the Titans still have way more issues than just quarterback and quarterback. They seem to have that better, but they've got so many defensive issues. They got so many whatever. I'm still livid that we lost to them, but I do think they beat the Panthers though. The Panthers are really bad.
The Panthers are ass.
All right, so Buccaneers Colts.
Bucks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, I shouldn't say that so like aloof or whatever because like I mean like the Colts are a good football team. Let's not mince words here. Like for being in the situation they're in, they've done quite well. However, I do think the Buccaneers are in a bit of a better trajectory right now. And like I said, a lot of my picks right now are really just kind of like going off of like who's got the momentum, who has the lack of momentum.
Yeah,
I just think the Bucks are floundering. Honestly, like I'm not here to tell you like the Bucks are like like going like getting hot or whatever. But I do think that they got a little bit more of something than the Colts do right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would tend to agree with that.
All right, so now the game of the week, Thomas. This is going to rival like the Chiefs-Eagles game was a good game, but like this is going to be so much better.
I know where this is going.
Get ready for this. Patriots-Giants.
You know, it's crazy how bad the Patriots get.
Oh my god!
Like, isn't that crazy, man?
Like,
it needs to be somebody.
What's crazy is they're technically worse than the Giants right now. The Giants are bad.
Ah, damn it! How are y'all worse than the Giants?
Right, we're like record-wise.
You know what? I'm gonna go with who's home?
The Giants.
I think the Patriots get it done.
Yeah, I actually agree. So like the Patriots are bad, don't get me wrong, but I think the Giants are particularly bad right now, and they've won 3 games, but I think that doesn't really explain how rotten of a position the Giants are in right now. Partially because Daniel Jones has been out.
Damn, man.
And like Daniel Jones isn't good, but like I mean, Tommy DeVito.
That's crazy that you call them particularly bad. They're not just bad; they're particularly bad. Particularly y'all bad, but particularly y'all just suck.
All right, so next up, you got Jaguars Texans. Now that could be a good game.
I had a fun game actually.
2 very turnover-prone teams, by the way.
CJ Stroud, man, he's doing his thing though. We gotta give it to him.
He's throwing a lot of interceptions too. He's like Brett Favre.
Yeah. God, I wish we had a Deshaun Watson on against the Texans. Give me the Jags. Give me the Jags. Yeah, I think the Jags get it done. Yeah. They've been there. That's only because I just think because the Jags didn't done it last year. You know, that's the only thing I'm going by, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of back and forth on this one. I actually think the Texans win this one. Because just like here's the thing, CJ Stroud extremely turnover prone, probably more so than the Jaguars are, but the Jaguars are also pretty turnover prone. And I mean, CJ Stroud, despite all the turnovers, has been getting it done. So imagine if he has more opportunities because the Texans keep getting turnovers because the Jaguars. So like I just think the matchup actually favors the Texans right now. And I don't know if like it's going to stay that way and they're going to win the division, but I do think the Texans get this one.
Okay. We're going to see.
Rams Cardinals. There's nothing just barn burner right here.
Kind of heard that for what that's worth.
Cool. I don't know if it's worth that much.
Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. I don't say that with a lot of confidence. Being real with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Cardinals. Just because I feel like, but let's see, I don't know. Maybe I should take the Rams because I feel like the Cardinals have been the Cardinals have been weirdly competitive with good teams this year.
Yeah.
Now they haven't been winning a lot, but they've been weirdly competitive. However, the Rams are not a good team, so maybe that's not a good sign for them.
Yeah. Hey, this is gonna be a random thought. I gotta go pee. So you talk about the next game while I pee real quick. It's just weird. Like it's got a burst of pee. Oh my gosh.
Well, that sure was an event. But anyway, so next up, we got the Chiefs and the Raiders. And I guess I'll go first on this one because Thomas is in the bathroom. I'll try to talk until he gets back from the bathroom. But I'm honestly I know this is weird, but the Raiders look better without Josh McDaniels. And the Chiefs, I'm just this Chiefs smell wrong to me, man. I keep saying that I think switching from Eric Bieniemy to Matt Nagy has been devastating for the Chiefs. And maybe this is crazy, but it is in Vegas. It's not like it's in Arrowhead. So I actually think the Raiders beat the Chiefs in this one.
Oh, it feels so much better. Oh, you be chilling and then how you just hit you out of nowhere. You just be like, oh shit, I gotta go pee off. There was no build up. It just kind of happened, man. You gotta go.
I mean, fair enough. Who you got between the Chiefs and the Raiders?
Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are gonna come back with revenge.
Okay, I don't know.
The Chiefs. Look. Here's the thing. They've been struggling. The Chiefs have been struggling in that second half, though. We talked about that. About them not scoring a touchdown in the second half, which is insane. I don't know how you go a whole half without scoring. Shit's fucking nuts.
Right.
But
did you hear what I was saying?
No, what you say?
Okay, I picked the Raiders.
Look at you.
Well,
picking
again, this is a what have you done for me lately type of question. The Chiefs have just looked really beatable the last few weeks, really beatable. And frankly, the Raiders, since firing Josh McDaniels, look a lot better. I don't know what it is about the Raiders and firing coaches and then suddenly getting better, but the Raiders are the one team that knows how to do that right. They fire coaches and then they're just magically better the whole rest of the season. I know there's usually the boost, the 1 week boost of firing a coach, and then they look really good the next week. But the Raiders consistently look better the entire rest of the season when they fire a coach. So I don't know if that's going to continue, but I mean, it's also in Las Vegas, and the Chiefs are just the Chiefs. I said this a few minutes ago. The Chiefs smell wrong to me. They lost to the Broncos before the Broncos got good. And that was actually the beginning of the Broncos win streak. But I think I don't know. I think the Raiders got it.
Okay, well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see about them Raiders.
All right, Eagles Bills.
Talk about what have you done for me lately. I'm asking about the Eagles. I just think that the Bills are a mess right now. I think it's funny that Stephon Diggs just be giving what's his face, the biz, Josh Allen the biz. She's be giving Josh Allen the biz. Josh Allen it'd be funny.
I agree. That's why I'm not all that intrigued by this matchup at all. I think the Eagles are going to win this. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Eagles are going to bust up on them, honestly.
Dang, man, you think the Bills will make playoffs?
No, I don't.
Dang, I wish y'all would go ahead to a quarterback. Then it'd be sure. But even still, even if y'all,
Well, here's the thing. If we don't make the playoffs, I still don't think the Bills make it.
Yeah. I mean, the Steelers would make it, though. That would suck.
Well, that would suck. But I would be more willing to believe the Steelers make the playoffs than the Bills.
Yeah, it's crazy. Me too.
Yeah. I don't like the Bills right now at all. Like they had their window, and that window's gone. Sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
All right.
well, you know.
Next up, you got the Bears. Oh, this is the Monday night matchup. So before we get into the AFC North games, you got Bears Vikings Monday Night Football.
Damn, that's the Monday Night Football game.
I know, right?
Vikings by 30. Maybe not 30, but Vikings.
Yeah,
Vikings.
I don't know. I want to pick the Bears here. Like I just there's something about this game. I want to pick the Bears, but here's the problem, Thomas. Every time I do that, the Bears screw me over. Like I do that a lot with the Bears. Have you noticed that? Like I'm like, I think this is gonna be the week with the Bears, and then it never is. So I'm gonna go ahead and not shoot myself in the foot this week. I'm gonna go with the Vikings, and if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be like, well, you know what? That was probably an understandable one to get wrong. So. Okay, so let's move on to the AFC North games. We got Ravens Chargers. What you think?
Damn, the Ravens still haven't had a bye.
Nope. I think their bye is like week 13 or something crazy.
That's crazy.
That
looks crazy. I'm going with the Chargers. Mainly because, the Chargers aren't a horrible team. They're just kind of bad. Justin Herbert can still beat you here and there. Justin Herbert's still Justin Herbert. I mean, their coach situation is all messed up. But, I just think the Ravens, they're going to come back from that break. But, Lamar kind of looked hobbled at the end of that game. You don't wish injury on anybody, but Lamar looked like he's kind of, those hits every single year, every single season, those hits kind of like mount up on Lamar. So we're going to see, man. I just don't think I don't know if Lamar could keep taking those hits that he's been taking. So
okay, so who you picking?
Chargers.
Okay.
Chargers.
I have two things to say. One, the Ravens are going to win this game. The Chargers suck. Two, Joe would like you. I'm not sure I want you to know, but Joe would like you to know that the Cavs versus Sixers are on TNT in the period blood court.
Oh shit! I remember playing fucking Pokemon, trying to catch them all and shit, and I'm missing the Cavs game. I got a bet. I need Garland to have 30 points. That's for Joe, not you. Would you understand about basketball in Cincinnati? I probably love basketball more down here than we do up here.
Why would we love basketball in Cincinnati? We've hardly ever had anything to root for.
What are you talking about? Y'all have Xavier.
What has Xavier ever done?
Xavier has done more in basketball in my lifetime than the Ohio State Buckeyes.
That can't possibly be right. But it's not like Xavier's ever won a championship.
They go to the NCAA tournament every year. Them and
Right.
What's it called?
I don't care.
The Cincinnati Bearcats. They got a pretty good basketball team too.
CATS, cats.
Bobcats, yeah, go Bobcats.
Bobcats, Bearcats, Wildcats. I'll take all three of them.
You know what cat pissed me off? My fucking Taurus. He doesn't listen to me at all. Like this fucking Pokemon literally doesn't listen to me. I never had a Pokemon that doesn't listen to me. Fucking Taurus. Motherfucker.
Joe says, Kyle, oh, beer. My wife brought beer, everyone, is now a meme video on his channel. That's excellent. I'm honored, Joe. I'm honored. No cat-based team has ever won the Super Bowl. Nope. There's been a lot of cat-based teams in the Super Bowl.
Damn, how does that make you feel, Kyle, that a cat team haven't ever won the Super Bowl, man? You need to become a dog. Rough, homie.
At least we've been to the Super Bowl, bro.
Hey, man. Can't lose something you never been to.
I know. Never won an AFC championship then. How about that? Like, I mean, this is like dumb stuff to argue about. Like, I know what this looks like from the other side. Like, you guys are arguing about AFC championships, like win a Super Bowl, ha 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 ha. But if you're gonna if you Thomas, a Browns fan, are gonna come at me reckless, then like, I mean, we're gonna have to like say something.
I didn't come at you sideways. Yeah, anyway, yeah. I'm just saying, I literally think I like basketball down there. Anyway, whatever. Who we got next on the dot?
Browns versus Broncos.
Damn, you already put me on the spot. Yo, okay, look. All right. I'm on the Browns. I'm not gonna lie, DTR is kind of scaring me. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of scared about DTR. But I'm going with the Browns here. I think DTR gets it done. Yeah. I'm going to Browns.
Okay. I'm taking the Broncos. And once again, I'm following my rule here. I'm not talking trash. I'm following my rule. My rule is, in general, I go with the team that's got the momentum. And right now, the Broncos look a lot better than the Browns. I mean, I know the Browns are 7-3.
How do they have more momentum than we do?
Because the Browns lost their starting quarterback and like beat the Steelers because like beat the Steelers with 13 points. Like I mean, like let's not lie. Like the Browns have had a lot of bad stuff happen to them lately. And yes, they won. I get they won, but the Broncos have been hot lately. Like that's also true. So I'm not saying the Browns are like on the level of the Panthers. Like I'm not saying that, but I am saying out of these two teams, the Broncos look hotter than the Browns right now. And at the end of the day, you're not going to slow the Broncos offense down like you're going to slow the Steelers offense down. Like, yes, the Broncos offense is not like this. This isn't like, the 2021 or the 2020 Chiefs offense. I'm not saying this is the 2020 Chiefs offense. And we're not going to sit here and say like, the Broncos are an amazing offense or anything, but they're better than the Steelers. And lately, Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton has been a hell of a connection. That running game's been getting going too.
We got some hell of cornerbacks too. I just don't think that. I just think the Browns can get them because they have a better defense.
And Joe says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Keep going."
No, I think DTR is just going to play better. I think DTR is just going to play better. I think DTR is going to be a better quarterback this game.
I don't think DTR is going to be better. I'm not saying you guys can't win this game, but that's not. I'm not like you can, but you're going to have to shut down the Broncos offense to do it.
I mean, very possible. I just don't think that. I just don't believe in the Broncos, man. I just don't think the Broncos are that great. I mean, yeah, they beat the Chiefs, fine, whatever. And like you said, they have their starting quarterback, and we don't have our starting quarterback. So that's a big difference. But we're gonna see what DTR is made of, man. If DTR could get 2 or 3 touchdowns, I believe if they can score points with PJ Walker, they can score points with DJ Walker or DTR. I'm just calling DJ Walker. DTR. So, I think the Browns will be fine tomorrow or Sunday.
We'll see. I mean, like, I definitely think they can win. I'm not saying like, Broncos, I'm betting the house on it, but I am saying that I think the Broncos have a little bit more oomph behind them right now. Whereas like,
like I said, if I was a betting man, which I am, and I wasn't a Browns fan, I might still take the Browns, honestly, actually thinking about it.
Well, I mean, you're doing them in your pick 'em. So, well, here's the thing: when we make our picks, it's reflective of like who you would bet on if you were betting.
Yeah, and I'm still thinking about it. I still would take the Browns. I would probably take the Browns still.
So Joe says this game is going to be tough. Browns, Broncos, The Broncos are favored, which is wild. End of the day, I think our defense will stifle their passing game, and DTR and the running game figure it out. You see, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think they're going to score more points next week too. I really do. I think they're going to score like 24, 25 points.
I mean, maybe. Well, I don't think.
Yeah,
no, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they might score like 17.
No, because they're going to get a couple touchdowns. I think DTR gets the first passing touchdown this week. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get like 4 passing touchdowns though.
By the way, Joe, look at that ugly ass red port by the 76ers, dude.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about earlier.
Man, that is just disgusting.
All right.
Ugh, it's all in your face and red. It's like, ugh. Light.
So let's pivot. Bengals, Steelers. What do you think? Or do you want me to go first?
I'm going to go first. I'm going to take the Steelers.
Okay.
I don't think Jake Brown is going to do anything. No, I'm joking. No. Actually, no, for real though,
I wouldn't blame you if you did.
That's great. That's great. Honestly, I'm going to take the Bengals. I do think Jake Brown can win. Plus, you're at home. I just think the Steelers are in a very, very, very bad place right now.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I just think I think the Steelers could. I think the Steelers are just mentally out of it, and I think if the Bengals come out hot on the Steelers, and force them to go 100 yards or 80 yards to beat y'all instead of having any turnovers, don't give the Steelers any momentum. Y'all beat that team. So I'm going with the Bengals.
Okay, fair enough. Joe said he's 99.4% in the ESPN league we do. So Joe, you're doing a great job, but I want to point out you do really that percent means you're in the 99.4 percentile. You haven't gotten 99.4% of your games right. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But you're doing a great job, but you're not doing that.
So what does it mean to be in 99.4% tile?
That means
that
that
99.4% people are just like Joe, or does that mean 9.4% of people aren't like Joe?
No, that means 99.4% of people, or rather 99.3% of people who do the pick'ems have not gotten as good of a record as Joe.
Why did I just say that Joe was in the top 7%? Congratulations, Joe. You're in the top 7%.
Top 0.6%.
That's pretty awesome.
He's doing really well. I'm just saying you haven't.
That is pretty good.
You haven't guessed 99.4% of the
Love
game.
you, Joe.
That would be really wild. If you up to this point in the season guess 99.4% of your games correctly, then I want you to tell me the lottery numbers right now.
I mean, no,
because that would be impossible. No, I don't think anybody's ever done that.
Well, I just want to make the sports bets with you though. That's it.
So Joe says this game is such an unknown. If Browning has a serviceable game, they could win. And that's the thing. Like from what I've seen out of Jake Browning, I think he could be serviceable. My concern is that he's not going to push the ball very well. And we need them to push the ball at least to some extent. So I'm picking the Bengals. But frankly, if the Bengals don't win this game, this might be the last time all year that I pick the Bengals. But it feels like matchup wise, this is, if you're going to lose your quarterback, if you're going to lose Joe Burrow, at least lose him for the Steelers game, because the thing is, Jake Browning might still be a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett. We definitely have better weapons than the Steelers.
Oh man, can we just have a rest in peace to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I mean, they're still
silence.
They're still
good night, Pittsburgh.
Let's
These got 100 games.
They're still 6-4. It's not like
they're you're dead, Pittsburgh.
But here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing about the Steelers. I think everybody would have agreed all year. At no point would anybody think you're crazy if you say, I don't think the Steelers win another game the rest of the year because of the way they've been playing. They keep winning, and it's crazy.
They got to eat.
But nobody would have called you crazy for thinking that the Steelers don't win another game the entire rest of the year. So if I say that right now, if I say I think the Steelers are going to finish 6-11, I mean, that would be like a hot take, but it wouldn't be like a crazy take. It'd be like, wow, okay, so you really don't believe in the Steelers then. But it wouldn't be like, dude, pass the crack. That would not be the reaction.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think they're going to be bad for a while.
Well, I mean, 6-4 isn't bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they're going to lose a lot of games. Though. I think I don't think they're not winning 6 more games.
I don't think they're winning
6 more games either.
They
might win 3 more games. They might win 3.
I think the Steelers win 2 more games all year.
Damn.
Honestly, that's my honest prediction.
So you think they don't keep Tomlin's streak alive of being
No, I think they're going to fall off and they're going to just barely miss it. And I think honestly, this might sound completely out of left field and it might be unrealistic honestly, but it could lead to Mike Tomlin getting fired. Because if they fall off that far and and they finish with a losing record at this point, after they started 6-3, if they fall off and A, miss the playoffs, B, finish with a losing record because they just like only won 2 more games the rest of the year, Mike Tomlin might get fired over that.
One can only hope.
I actually don't hope that. Like I would be so mad if like Mike Tomlin finishes his tenure with the Steelers and he only ever has 1 losing season the entire time, and it's the year he got fired. Because that means Mike Tomlin's I want to see Mike Tomlin's legacy go down in flames. That's what I want to see.
Damn.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but I want to see it.
He's chilling. He's
going to be fine. But point is, I don't want Mike Tomlin to get fired by the Steelers because, yes, he's a voodoo wizard. But part of the reason the Steelers are mired in this mediocrity that they're in right now, yes, they're not having losing seasons. Fair enough. But what are they actually doing that's all that much to be proud of? Like, the Steelers are mired in mediocrity right now, and it's partially because Mike Tomlin ran the team the way he did for so long, and then it blew up in his face, and now they've got to rebuild. And I'm not entirely sure Mike Tomlin knows how to rebuild. Like, he didn't when they won the Super Bowl, that was Bill Cowher's team that Mike Tomlin coached to Super Bowl. He did a great job of coaching that team. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is I don't think Mike Tomlin knows how to rebuild a football team.
That might be true.
And that might be part of why they're just kind of staying in this limbo right now, because Mike Tomlin's desperately doing everything he can to squeeze, some sort of respectability out of every season for the Steelers, because he knows if things start getting bad, then he probably can't pull them out of it.
Yeah, we're going to see about Mike Tomlin. We will see. I do agree that this could be the year that gets him fired. That's why I made that joke about him getting fired earlier.
I don't think it will be, but I think it.
No, I don't think so either. But you know what I mean? I think Pittsburgh found their scapegoat, and it was Matt Canada. So I think that's gonna be
right. That's what I'm saying. I think Matt Canada was the sacrificial lamb. They needed to get rid of somebody, and public opinion has been so far against Matt Canada for so long that it's just easy. I mean, it's they're not gonna fire Tomlin because Tomlin's a legend. So they got to get rid of a guy like Matt Canada, who has been bad. Don't get me wrong. He's been bad, but he's not the single source of the Steelers' problems. And because public opinion has turned so far against him, he was the obvious choice. But honestly, I don't think the offense gets any better without Canada. I don't. I think part of the reason Matt Canada runs such a conservative, and that's the thing, the Steelers are bad, but Matt Canada runs a really conservative offense. They could be so much worse than they are, but Matt Canada runs a really conservative offense. And the reason I think he does that is because he doesn't have anything to work with. Frankly, the Steelers barely have anything to work with on offense. They got George Pickens. Najee Harris is theoretically talented, but he doesn't do much. Kenny Pickett sucks. So like I just don't. The Steelers don't have much to work with on offense, and like Matt Canada, I think Matt Canada's idea is just like basically what you're talking about with DTR. Matt Canada's idea is basically like just don't turn the ball over. Try to put some semblance of offense together and just let the defense win games because that's all.
What's funny about the Kenny Pickett thing is there are Steelers fans still holding on to Kenny Pickett like, no, he's not that bad. No, he's not that bad. It was all Canada's fault. Yeah, keep on thinking that. I should give Kenny Pickett a $20 extension.
Joe has a good point though. I have been calling the Steelers implosion for a while, and it keeps not happening. So maybe take that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
That is also fair. I keep saying it's going to happen.
You did say 2 weeks ago you can see the Bengals not losing the game for the rest of the season.
Well, yeah, but
they haven't won since you said that.
Look, Joe Burrow just got hurt for the entire year. Like, I mean, that's not okay. And so, what happened since that game? So they played the Texans, which they had a really, really bad game about, and still almost won that football game, Thomas. They had a terrible game and still almost won that game. And then the Ravens, they were beating the Ravens when Joe Burrow went out. So, I mean, I don't think I was too far off the mark. Yeah, they haven't won a game since I said that. But they weren't that far off against the Texans, despite having a terrible game. And they were beating the Ravens.
I promise you I'm just being an asshole at this point.
I know you're being an asshole, but I'm I know I said that, and I'm defending myself, and I stand by what I said. What I said, I don't think was too far off the mark.
300 miles away.
That's part of why I think that I'm willing to see what they've got with Jake Browning. I'm not ready to hit the season's over button just yet because I've seen what this team is capable of this year. They're capable of so much. And yeah, not having Joe Burrow might be the nail in the coffin. I'm not saying it definitely won't be. What I am saying is this team has moxie. This team has the stuff to get it done. And, whether or not they do get it done, I don't know. But they can, and that's why I'm not giving up just yet. I mean, hell, dude, honestly, it'll be like week 18 and we'll be like 3 games out of the playoff race. And I'll still be coming on here being like, we're going to beat the Browns. It don't matter. But, I'll probably be telling you about how the Bengals could technically make the playoffs if 4 other NFL teams accidentally die.
Hey, I'm fine. There's still a lot of season left. I didn't get this W this weekend, though. Yeah, I think they beat the Steelers. It feels like a good matchup, and it's really entirely dependent on if Jake Browning can just do the we don't even need you to be like Joe Burrow's full potential. We just need you to do the thing that Joe Burrow's been doing and not turn the ball over a lot. Basically do what the Browns are asking of DTR, but actually do it. Just don't think. But also you guys got Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd to throw too, so he got some weapons. So he
and theoretically, at some point, T. Higgins is going to come back.
Yeah, so y'all be fine. Right. I'm not worried about that.
And then Tanner Hudson's been, Tanner Hudson. By the way, a lot of guys the Bengals have who've made a big impact on their offense are guys who have previously been on the practice squad with Jake Browning being the practice squad quarterback. So I mean, you got guys like we know that Jake Browning has good chemistry with Trent Irwin because we saw it against the Ravens. We know that he should have really good chemistry with Tanner Hudson. So those are 2 guys right there who he's probably going to come into this already having pretty good chemistry with. And then it's just about can he mesh with Jamar Chase? Can he mesh with Joe Mixon and make things happen? I think he can. I don't know if he will, but I think he can.
You want to see?
Yeah, we will see. We will see. But we are I think that's about it for today though. So unless you got anything else to say, Thomas.
No, go Cavs.
All right. Well,
I'm out here watching Tristan Kardashian do his thing.
Yeah, go basketball. Dude,
you just see this court. This court is literally fucking red, dude. It's crazy.
No, I know. You showed me some pictures of what they've been doing lately, so I'm sure they probably...
Yeah, no, the funny thing is that in the NBA in-season tournament, all these teams have these crazy-ass courts. but the Cavs. The Cavs got the most normal in-season tournament court ever. Because you know what they did? Well, they took the secondary color of each team and they made it a court. The Cavs' secondary color is gold. So the court just looks like a regular-ass basketball court. But hey, y'all, look at this gold court. Like, it is gold. Of course it's gold. It's basketball. So it just doesn't look – it literally just looks like a regular NBA court.
Well,
we got – come on, I wanted something crazy. I was like, oh, I want something crazy. Nope, just a regular-ass NBA court. Oh, but it's gold.
Anyway.
I want a regular court.
I think it's time to hop off about here because we're just kind of like flying off the rails, which is fun, but we'll never end if we don't put an end to it.
Shout out to President Truman.
Shout out to President Truman. But anyway, y'all can always catch more of what I do at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/ThePhelps, Butt Fumble Sports, and right here on the Battle of Ohio podcast. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thomas, tell them where they can find you.
T_star94 on IG, as well as the Thomas J Network on TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, and also at Kyle Phelps 92 on TikTok. You know, I am adjusting and I am putting out TikTok content. You know. So,
yeah, he is.
I said I was going to do it, and I'm finally doing it now. And I'm not where I want to be consistency wise yet, but as always, this stuff takes time. But
Charlie D'Amelio, watch out! We got a new white boy coming to town.
It is all right then. It is. It is. I am finding it much more realistic to put out short content. So I was actually talking to Joe about this earlier, but I'm actually seriously considering mostly going forward doing like short content and live content, and then like I'll probably still put out some videos because that's why I started my channel in the first place, was to produce regular videos, but like right now, short content and live content is what I have time for. So you're probably going to be seeing a lot more of that going forward. But either way, I appreciate all y'all watching. Thomas does too. And we'll see you next time. So I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hootie.
President Johnson, you suck. Go Browns.
Well, damn, you just did President Johnson dirty. Oh, well, which John? That was like Lyndon Johnson and Andrew Johnson.